Greetings. We are a collective of ascending ones who have been called to active duty. We are sure that many of you would like an operational definition about what we mean by active duty. By active duty we mean that you have come enough into your own personal power that you realize that you are a member of planet Gaia, and she greatly needs your assistance. Because you have found, and are able to own your personal power, you know that you are a multidimensional being who resonates beyond the third-dimensional world. Since you are aware that you are not limited to your third-dimensional form, as well as your third-dimensional thoughts and emotions, you know that you can switch into your higher-dimensional thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. Fortunately, many of you are remembering how to return to your fifth-dimensional form by visiting the fifth-dimensional starship or home world from which you decided to take an Earth vessel in order to assist dear Gaia, planet Earth. From your fifth-dimensional perspective, you could perceive that the planet was taking great damage to her third-dimensional expression. Of course, Gaia is a multidimensional planet, just as you are a multidimensional person. Therefore, you are aware that Gaia is in the process of ascension, just as many of her inhabitants are in the process of ascension. However, there are those lost ones, often known as the Illuminati, who know that they are not ready for ascension. These lost ones are so not ready to ascend, that they will damage the planet as much as they can in hopes that Gaia becomes so wounded, that she cannot ascend either. Of course, what they do not know, nor could they ever understand it if they did know, is that the third dimension is just a frequency of reality. This frequency of reality known as planet Earth, has many higher dimensional expressions, and an infinite soul, just as all her humans do. Even the plants, animals, earth, air, fire, and water have a spiritual essence. What do we mean by spiritual essence? Spiritual essence is that which connects the elements and elementals. The elementals are the living, multidimensional beings who bond together the physical elements and astral elementals in order to create a physical planet. Gaia has a third-dimensional physical planet, just as humans have a third-dimensional, physical Earth vessel. Gaia also has a fourth-dimensional astral planet, just as humans have a fourth-dimensional astral body. Gaia also has a fifth-dimensional light planet, just as humans have a fifth-dimensional light body. One must have a fifth-dimensional state of consciousness in order to match the frequency of Gaia's fifth-dimensional expression, in order to perceive that frequency of Gaia. For example, it is easiest for humans to perceive the fourth-dimensional frequency of Gaia while they are sleeping, in deep meditation, or while enjoying a creative act. The difficulty is not that all awakening humans need to have these experiences. The difficulty is that certain awakening ones vowed before they took this incarnation, that they would remember their fourth-dimensional experiences once they began their return back to their fifth-dimensional frequency of existence. We know that you have all had amazing dreams and/or meditations, but as soon as you open your eyes and see the 3D world, that experience flies from your 3D memory. We say, 3D memory, because if you can quickly expand your consciousness into the fourth dimension, you will be able to remember your dreams and/or meditations. However, there is often a short timeline for this memory. Hence, you will need to document your experience, or you will likely forget it. The other thing that we, your galactic family, recommend to our brave volunteers to assist Gaia, is that you share your experience with others. We started Suzanne on the campaign of making ascension normal many years ago. However, making ascension normal is very difficult when one has lost their job, can't pay their bills, is sad because they lost a loved one, or feels like there is no one to talk to about the weird messages you are receiving inside of your own self. The messengers of these communications are often without a physical form. Therefore, maybe they are just your imagination. Then, if you did tell anyone, they might think you are crazy, or fire you, or stop being your friend. It is very difficult to be among the first ones to tell a truth that many others have identified as a lie. Also, maybe you are wrong? Maybe it was just a dream or you have a way out their imagination? But what if you know that these inner messages are not a dream? What is you have the courage to believe in yourself? You are not alone in your interest of the higher worlds. Just look at all the websites and blog sites that have sprung up in the last few years. In the 8 years that Suzanne's blog has been up, there have been well over 2 million people that have come to the site to find out about the weird stuff that she posts. People are over normal and ready for weird. Why are they over normal? Because more and more of our grounded ones are having dreams, memories, discussion and even waking experience that tell them about a truth, mostly seems weird. Therefore, don't let life distract you, as what is occurring in your third-dimensional reality is more and more becoming a reflection, or perhaps a fifth-dimensional message of your fifth-dimensional reality. Your dreams are the fourth-dimensional translation of what is occurring in your daily life, and your meditations are increasingly guiding you to remember your fifth-dimensional reality. Try to look at your third-dimensional experience through the consciousness of your fifth-dimensional light body self. Through this exercise, you will begin to close the gap between your third, fourth, and fifth-dimensional expressions of yourself. As you merge your third, fourth, and fifth-dimensional expressions of self, you will return more and more to the fifth-dimensional consciousness of your fifth-dimensional light body self. To complete the process of planetary ascension, every reality that you have created, experienced, and lived, needs to be rebalanced before you will be able to move into the higher frequencies of reality. You hoped that you were going to go through a tunnel and fall into a shining light. However, the tunnel is you and the light is you. Also, as you come through the tunnel of light, you will experience yourselves at the threshold to the fifth dimension. As you arrive at this threshold, time and space, as you have known them, will blur into the one of now. One of the most difficult components of planetary ascension is that the majority of humans will need to recalibrate their consciousness to the frequency of the higher fourth and fifth dimensional frequency of consciousness. The reason for this recalibration is that the reality that you perceive is the reality that you live. It is for this reason that one rather small planet called Earth has so many problems. Gaia took on so many very different people that live in very different places around the planet. All these many different people will need to align their consciousness, and their unconditional love, with the feeling, vision, frequency of fifth-dimensional Gaia. It is the alignment of the human consciousness, as humans are the primary, if not the only, beings on Gaia that have harmed the planet that they lived on. The animals lived in harmony with nature, whereas the humans sought to control the planet. Fortunately, more and more humans are awakening to the fact that they are the protectors of Gaia. As they live this role, they are to think first of Mother Gaia. Then decide if what they want will harm Gaia in any manner. If it harms Gaia, the answer is, no. I am a steward and a protector for Gaia. Many of our brave protectors of Gaia are going through exactly what Gaia is going through. Humanity is finally coming into the now and they are evolved enough to know that Gaia is a living being, and that all humanity is made of the same earth, air, fire, and water, as their mother planet. Therefore, they remember that they are one of Gaia. Being one of Gaia represents the now in which humans work for and with Gaia. Being one of Gaia is when Gaia, and all her inhabitants, transmute into a higher frequency. However, this event requires a ticket, which is and will remain unknown, until humanity has completed the beginning by realizing and living within the truth that Gaia is a living being. This ticket to ascension also says, please remember that the nature of linear, third-dimensional existence is based on time and space. As a process of humanity's awakening to their true self, humans are beginning to remember how to hold more than one reality in their mind at a time. However, usually one can only do that when their 3D self is meditating, being creative, and/or giving service to others. Interestingly enough, once one has had a glimpse of that other reality, they often wonder, is this the same reality I know I am in, but coming to me from an opposite perspective? More of you are beginning to feel like there is a different, higher frequency, me, inside of me, that is trying to be born. Or maybe, you're feeling this you, free of time, and within the now. In fact, many of you are in the now in which you are on the edge of remembering your visits into the fifth dimensional version of reality. The fifth dimension does not have a third-dimensional time and space operating system, which is based on separation, polarities, time, and space. Instead, the fifth dimension has an operating system that is based on the here and now. Your fifth dimensional self presents the beginnings of a different paradigm of reality in which you are all your multidimensional self. Your multidimensional self is a composite of all the frequencies of reality to which your current Earth vessel has ever resonated. Your third dimensional self is ruled by time and space. Your fourth dimensional self is ruled by the flow of your creative imagination. Your fifth dimensional self is ruled by the unity of being one within a reality based on light and sound. In the fifth dimension, light and sound intertwine to create a reality that is ruled by here and now. Your third dimensional self usually thinks in a time-bound, sequential fashion, and often thinks, or even tells you, that you need to get better before you can do, have, understand, visit, and even deeply believe in the higher worlds. However, as you expand your consciousness into the higher subplanes of your third-dimensional reality, and onto the threshold of our fourth-dimensional consciousness, you have the ability to remember the higher worlds. These higher dimensions of your world meaning the united agreement that you have chosen to represent the concept of your collective world, are basically built on collective beliefs and collective states of consciousness. As you expand your consciousness into the fourth dimension, you can expand your consciousness beyond the confines of time and space to more clearly observe what came before to create this third-dimensional now. What came before is often lost to inhabitants of the third, and even fourth-dimensional realities. Yes, one can perceive the third dimension from the perspective of the fourth dimension, but there is still the belief in time and space. From the timeless fifth-dimensional perspective, one can also better observe and understand, how will this reality evolve? What will happen if we do not use our fourth and fifth dimensional consciousness to gain a better picture of the cause and effect of the possible flow of this reality? More and more, humanity is beginning to understand the differentiation between their third-dimensional time, their fourth-dimensional time, and the timeless realms of the fifth dimension, which are all easily altered by one's state of mind and emotion. It is for this reason that your fourth-dimensional consciousness can flow into great creativity if you are centered within your multidimensional self, or chaos if you are not centered within your multidimensional self. More and more of humanity is opening to their full multidimensional self, which is synonymous with their multidimensional consciousness. As more of humanity has expanded their consciousness to embrace the fourth and fifth dimension, we will be able to increase the flybys of our starships, hover over those who are ready to see, and send messages to those who are ready to hear. A new expanded version of reality will be coming into your reality. Some say, when will this happen? When will you land? Our answer is, when we see that you are ready to expand your reality beyond the limitations of the third dimension and into the fourth and fifth dimensional reality from which you came. Yes, the ships are here for you. Blessings from your galactic family. We are ready to meet you. Are you ready to meet us?